So hello everyone, welcome to the Android Hacking 101. So today we are going to cover two chapters. So first is static analysis and the second one is dynamic analysis. So let's directly dive into static analysis. So static analysis is basically an analysis of the source code of the Android application. So we try to analyze the source code and try to find out vulnerable code snippets, or there might be some hard-coded secrets which are hiding inside the application, which the application is using to communicate to the say third-party services or their custom services. So there might be keys or secrets which are related to these services which might be hard-coded in the application. So there are different ways to do static analysis, but we will try to follow a more structured and easy methodology. So this static analysis recon, we are going to look into certain files which resides under the application. So so what are these files? So first we will look into Android manifest.xml. So we can look into this file for exported components. So if the component is exported, then any other application in the device can call them, right, as we discussed before. So also we will look into whether the application is using deep links or not. So if it is using deep links, so what are the custom schemas it is using, what is the host it is trying to communicate with. So also we will try to look whether we can find some API keys within the manifest file.xml. So then comes a file called as strings.xml. So this resides under this path. So in this file, we will try to find out some hard-coded strings which the application is using inside the code. So what application does is it is kind of a repository, the string.xml. So in the string.xml, it will define all the strings, and in the source code, it will then try to reference to the strings. So this is why this file is used. So this the strings in this file is then referenced inside the code. So rather than defining the strings directly in the code, they just reference, developer just reference the strings from this file. So in this file you might find some juicy stuff. So there is one more file, file path, file underscore path dot xml. So in this file we will try to look for the whether the application is using the external storage to store something, or to talk to the external storage. So we can find this whether the application is using it by analyzing this file. So there are this tags, external path or external file paths. So the external path means basically means that application is trying to store in the external storage at whichever path which is defined here. The external file path is basically the root of the application's external storage. So there is one more file, that is network security underscore config.xml. So in this if the application is talking with some domains in the clear text, then this attribute, that is clear text traffic permitted, will be true. So just to give you example, let me see. Okay, so this is one example. So wherein this network security the tag is there, and this domain config is there. So here it is false, but if it is true, so that means that it is talking with the secure example .com domain in the clear text. So that is what that particular this attribute means. So then also we can look for these other URLs, or what are the URLs there. There are hard codes in the source code. We can also look for tokens, keys, secrets, or you can also look for API keys. So to demonstrate this, or we will take one application. So I have decompiled one the Edge application, the Microsoft Edge application. So if you want to just see, so yeah, this Edge browser I have decompiled in the Jadx, And so first we will look into manifest file, so where we can find the manifest file. So it will be under resources. So let me just, and you can see here manifest file. So this is the file. So this is the file which is open now, manifest file. So yeah, you can go through this file and look into the different things. What are the components the application using? What are the permissions, or whether the application is storing some secrets or not? That stuff you can look for. So then the next file is string.xml. So it is under resources.arc, resources values string.xml. So let me just see resources. So okay, here the resources.arc is there. Let me minimize this. Let me also minimize this. So you can see here resources.arc, then resources, and under values, if you look string.xml. So yes, so this is the string.xml. So as you can see that every string has one name and has a value. So then this string is then referred inside the code. So yeah, you can see that there are many strings which are then referred inside the source code. So yes, you can find sometime you can find hardcode as values here. So the next file is file underscore paths.xml. So let's see whether an Edge browser has it. So it is under resources XML files path. So there is one folder called as XML, so it will be down. Okay, it is under resources. Okay, there is the XML. Let me just check it again. What are the file path? Resources XML file underscore path. Yes, we are under resources. Okay, this resources. We were on the resources.arc, but we have to look into this resources folder, as I said, then under XML, and we will look for file paths. Yeah, here you can see the file. So yes, you can see that this application is also using this tags external path. So since it's an Edge browser, so I think it is storing the downloads in the download folder in the external storage. So yeah, as you can guess that it is storing something in the external storage. So see, similarly, this is external file path. So this is related to the application's root. So I think it is also storing something, creating a folder called as download and storing there something, means whatever the things we download. So yes, this Edge browser is also using this external storage. So now there's one more file, that is network security underscore config.xml. So it is also under resources XML. So let's check. It is also under resources.xml. So we will just see network security config. Yes. So here you can see that clear text traffic permanent is true, but these are some different tags. It is not like domain tag, it is some trust anchors. So we need this tags, right? So that we know that the application is trying to talk with some domain and with clear text true or false. So it is not talking to any domain. As you can see here, there is no domain tag, right? So then yes, so these are the files we look into. Then also we can look into some hard coded stuff and the source code as well. So now we have looked into what are the things we look for static analysis. So we will also look when the application, the Android application is nothing but basically a zipped version of all the resources or the assets which are there inside the application. So when you unzip it, what are the files we get? So let's take an example. This is in my Android app.apk. So when I unzip it, I get this many files. So what are these files? So as we discussed before, we get a manifest file. So manifest file basically is the structure of the application. So it will have all the services or the activities, all the components related to the application. Then also we'll get one meta in folder. So in this meta in folder, there will be all the certificates and a checksum related to the applications. Then there is one folder called as library, that is lib. So this will contain all the third-party libraries which are used inside the application. Then there is also a folder called as a resource. So in the resource folder there will be all resources like images or audio clips or all these resources which are used inside the application. Then the classes.dex file. So this is nothing but then all the source code which is converted into a dex code, which then the Dalvik executable uses. So this dex file will contain all the source code related to the application. So there might be a number of dex files like classes.dex, then classes1.dex. So this is kind of all the source code is then divided into this dex files. So if the application is very big, then there will be many classes .dex files. Then comes the resources.arc. So this is an it will contain the precompiled resources such as XML files. So as we just now saw the different XML files, so string.xml or file_path.xml. So this will all comes like under this resources.arc. So now we know that how an unzipped application folder looks like and what are the things we have to look for. But before that, okay, so now we will look into the Jadx, which is a text to Java decompiler. So we can use Jadx to decompile the application and then look into source code. So there are two variants of Jadx. So we can use it as a command line tool, as well as we can use it as GUI. So first of all, we need to download the binaries. So we can download it from here. So from their GitHub page where we can get the zip file. So once you unzip it, you will find under bin folder, you will find the bash script as well as the bat for Windows, and then you can use it the command line depending upon the operating system. So here we are using Linux. So let me show you. So I will be using Windows for this one. So now if we look, so we'll try to decompile a APK file, that is edge.apk. So it is an Internet Explorer, the Edge APK. So let's try to decompile it. So let's do jadx.pat-d. So I want to decompile it in the current folder. So once it is decompiled, I'll get two folders, that is resources and sources. So let's now pass the APK. Let's hit enter. So it will take some time. So till then we'll look into the GUI version of the Jadx. So till then let's look at the GUI. So basically it's a GUI tool. So we pass the APK file to it and it will just decompile it in the background, and it will give all the folders, like all the structure source code to us, so that it will be a GUI means it will be easy for us to search for the strings as well as use some tools to grab some important strings and so on. So for that let's go into Kali Jadx-GUI. So I am running the GUI version. So here I'm again selecting the same Edge APK. So let me open it. So now it is actually decompiling the APK, and it will now, yeah, so it is now decompiled. And if you look at the structure and the resources, you will find the Android manifest.xml, and all the related files to the application. So this is how you can decompile, and then yes, of course, you can look into the source code and other things. So as we discussed before, for the static analysis, like what are the different files you can look into, yeah, you can look into them. So let's check whether our Jadx, yeah, it is finished. So if I now visit the file, so you can see that it's two folders created. So under resources you will find the classes.dex file. So in this dex file basically there will be the the source code. So if you are using Linux, then you just have to again convert them into jar with help of text to jar, or else you can find any other way wherein you can just try to read this text file. So all this, so basically now the source code is now divided into 3 files. So this class is text, and yeah, other folders are related to the application only, like library, meta-inf, and resources, which we talked before. Okay, so now we have looked into how we can use Jadx GUI as well as the command line tool. So now we'll look at another tool, which is APK tool. So APK tool is basically a tool in which also we can decompile the application, but the end result will be, we'll get a smally code. We will not get a text file or some other format file, but we'll get a smally code. Basically, with help of APK tool, we can decompile the application as well as we can rebuild it. So how we can decompile the application? So if you look at this command, so we just pass apk tool. So before that, if you want to know how you can just install it on your system, you have to just go to this apk tool link, and for whichever operating system you have, they have provided the steps you can just follow and set up on your system. So yes, regarding the command, we have to pass apk tool t is to decompile. Now I have passed -r here. So what it means is basically I don't want to decompile the resources. I just want to decompile the sources. So now I have provided path to the apk, and then I also provide, okay, then also provide the output file in which I want that files to be reside once it is decompiled. So we talked about the Smalley before. So how the Smalley code is handled inside the application. So as first thing, the Java code that is compiled into dot class, then dot class is compiled with the into text, and then it is handled the text code by the Smalley assembler TSM. So this is I tried to show it here. So now let's try to decompile the same application with help of apk tool. So let's open the okay. So yeah, so if we go to edge, so the com., yeah, this is the base.apk. So if you want to decompile it, what we will do, we'll say apk tool decompile. So right now we'll just say that we don't want to decompile the resources. So I'll say just decompile page.apk, and in the output it write into the folder h d for decompiled, say. So it is now decompiling, and we'll get one folder called as h_d, in which we will get all the files after decompile. Okay, so if we go to hd now, here you can see we get all the we get Android manufacturer.xml, and as I talked, we got all the code in the Smalley, like Smalley classes 2, Smalley classes 3. So we got it in the Smalley code. So now let's assume that we made some changes in the code in the application, and now we were trying to build it again. So how we can do that? We have to just say apk2 -build, and we have to, okay, I'm in the path. Let me go outside so that we can pass the folder, and we say h. So now it is building the application, and once it is built, I'll tell you where we can find the newly built application. Okay, just building it. Okay, yes. So now if we go into the edge dot the underscore t file, so now we have to go to dist folder, and under dist folder you can see there is a base.apk. So this is actually the newly built apk. So in order to install this in say device, we need to sign it actually. So to sign an application, so yeah, we have seen this rebuilding of the application. So now to sign an application, we have to use jar signer for it. So this is one tool, a command line tool for which with which we can sign the application. So actually, this jar signers will take a key. So to we have to first generate that key with the help of a key tool. So how we can generate it? So here is the command. So we are passing this some arguments to this key tool, that is generate key. We are giving some more arguments, that what will be its name, what will be its algorithm, and so on. So let me show you that. We paste the, yeah, and URLi. So it is asking for an li. So let me give it test. So it will ask you for the password. Let me provide a password. It will ask you some question like since you are generating a kind of key, it will ask you some question. So just fill any dummy. We can fill any dummy details there, and yes, a key generated, which is a so you can see generating a with RSA key pair and a self-signed certificate with a validity of 10,000 days. So if I go to ls, so you can see that it has generated. So we can now use a jar signer to sign our application with this key.js. So part to that APK. So part to the APK file. So APK file is in this folder only, that is bait.apk, and now lis. So it will now ask you for the password. Yeah. So now the signer certificate is self-signed. So that basically it is saying that jar is signed. So yes, now since it is signed, now you can now install it in your device. So this is how we uh, decompile an application. Then we can again build it with an APK tool, and then we can sign it with the help of jar signer. So yeah, this is one more step. If you want to just kind of optimize the application, you can use this zip align to align the code properly. Now the next tool which we are going to use in the static analysis is MobSF. So what is MobSF? Is basically it's an fully automated tool which can be used for static as well as dynamic analysis. So you have to just give him the APK file, and he will just decompile the MobSF, and it will give you all the results in a proper format, so which you can browse. So in order to install the MobSF, you can go to this link, the their GitHub page, and just download the source from there, and run setup.sh first, so that it will download all the dependencies, and then with the run.sh you can run the MobSF. So once uh, it is running, just visit localhost on 8000 port on your browser, and you can just upload the APK there. So there is one option to upload and analyze, and once it is uploaded, you will get all the results. So let's see it move as a working. Let me just, okay. just run it. So now it is running on my localhost on port 8000. So now if I go localhost 8000, so yeah, you can see. So now let's upload one Enrol page. Yeah, or else I think I have previously, I guess, recent scans. Just take a note. So basically in the recent scan you get all the recent scan which you have done, and it will just again give you all the data which the movie have decompiled and collected. So let's just wait, it is still loading. So till then I can show you the other tools which you can use for static analysis. So there is this website called Virus Total. If you directly give the file to Virus Total, then yes, it will. Okay, so in Virus Total you can choose a file and give it to it. It will give you the results. Some results of APK, like what are the exported components and other things like manifest file, and different results it will give you. There are other tools like this one from I have picked it from open source tool. It is called FuffLens. So basically it will just decompile the application and search for different things in the application and give you the results. And there are more other tools that you can find on the internet, but I'll advise you to use a proper tool like MoveSF, which gives you result in a proper format. So these are some hackable reports. So let's see what are those. Yes. So yeah, so basically this researcher found an overly permissive API keys in Android app. Okay, so that he found basically an API key in Android app by doing a static analysis. And this, okay, yeah, hard-coded API secret he found in the Android app. So yeah, this is the code snippet. So in this he found out that yeah, using some hard-coded details there, and yeah, he reported it. He first exploited the bug and he reported it. Yeah, so I had hard-coded credentials in Enrol app. So all these are actually the static analysis related findings. So cookies steal through content you know yes. So yeah, this is MoveSF. It is loading. So basically in the MoveSF you can find different sections wherein you can browse and find other things related to the application. So it is taking a bit time. Let's just wait for a sec. Okay, so now we got the result for MoveSF, and as you can see, we got all the details in the front side bar. You can see. So yeah, we get the application details like what is the file name, what is the size, what is the MD5 hash, what is the package name, other things. Then the Play Store information. Yeah, here we got an overview of what are the different activities in the application, services, receivers. And here you can also view the manifest file, view the source, view Smelly, even download the Java code as well as Smalley code. So yeah, there are different options. It will also tell you about the application permission, which are the dangerous, which are the non-permissions, certificate issuer and all, permission, different APIs. So second, network analysis, manifest analysis. So yeah, different things you can get. Reconnaissance. In the reconnaissance, you can find what are the different URLs used inside the application, whether it is using Firebase, DB, what are the different strings, hard-coded secrets. So yeah, these are different secrets. Whether if they found something related to some strings like password using them, then yeah, it will show you that these are some hard-coded files. Application. Then in the under components, you can find what are different activities, what are different services, receivers, providers, and so on. And then finally, you can also generate a PDF report if you want. So yeah, basically, this is a very handy tool myself, which you can use to do a static analysis. It will give you the complete result of the application, and you can also view the source code and different things here. So yes, so we are done with the static analysis. So in the next class, we will look into the dynamic analysis. So in case you have any question, you can ask. Okay, so now we will look into dynamic analysis. So that is the second chapter for today's class. So what is dynamic analysis? So dynamic analysis is basically we try to analyze the things which the application is creating, or the application is how the application is behaving when we run it. So there might be some logs the application might be generating, or there might be some files it is creating in different location, like internal storage or external storage. So we try to analyze this, and also if the application is uh, communicating with any server, so we'll also try to see what is the network traffic going from the application. So this all comes under the dynamic analysis. So now we will look into insecure logging. So what is insecure logging basically is? So insecure logging means that Android application tend to leak or tend to log something sensitive, or something that other application should not see into the logs. So this might be like user credentials or user session or any other application, which are considered sensitive. So if the application is logging it, then there are chances that other application can also read these logs, as on a rooted device any application can read the system logs. But if you consider the normal device, then there is a catch. So as of Jelly Bean, an application cannot have this permission, that is a read log permission. So before Jelly Bean, it was possible for the application to read the logs, but now after Jelly Bean, you cannot have this permission. So this permission is now only given to the pre-installed application, or any application which is installed in the privileged part of the device. So only this application will have this permission. So then comes so how we can read this log. So there is a tool which is called Logcat. So Logcat is nothing but a built-in tool on the Android SDK, which can be used to monitor the logs. So how we can use Logcat, that we will see now. So to run the Logcat, we have to just simply do adb Logcat, and we'll get all the logs in the device. So let me show you that. So this is our device. So adb Logcat. As you can see, there are many logs which will be getting generated once we click any application or try to do any actions. So what if we want to get logs related to only one application, like if you want to get logs only for Twitter? So how we can do that? So we can say that we will first find out the what is the package name of Twitter. So let me just grab it. It will be under data. And so as you can see, this is the package name for Twitter, and now we will grab based on the package name. So grab, yeah, you can see now we are grabbing based on the package name. So now if you do any actions in this Twitter application, now you have opened, as you can see there are some logs getting generated. So if you do any actions, so yes, we will get some logs related to this. So as you can see, so if I even kill this, let me kill this application and again reopen it. So as you can see, there are some logs getting generated. So this is how you can grab the logs related to a single application by passing the package name. So yes, as you can see it here, we have done ADB logcat and then grab for the particular package name. So now we will talk about insecure storage. So Android device provide multiple methods by which an application can store data inside a device. So this data can be user session or user details or anything else it want to store on the device. So following are the techniques which are widely used inside the Android device. So these are the 5 techniques. So first one is the shared preferences. So shared preferences is an API which can be used to store the details, and the details will be stored in an XML file, and it will be form of the key value. So as you can see in the XML file, right, it will have some key and a value. So here you can see that this in this code snippet. So we are using the shared preferences object, and then we are putting this string that we are putting this is the key name, and this is its value. So we are storing the username administrator and the password super secret. So a cache will be taken while storing this detail inside this shared preferences file. That here you can see in the code snippet that the mode is world readable. So what this means is any application on the device can read it. So yes, here is the is a note where we say that more word readable or more word writable are actually deprecated till API 17. So from API 17, these modes are now deprecated, so you cannot no longer use this modes. But before that, the application was able to use this, and that is why we means those application were, if they are storing anything with mode word readable, then yes, it will be a vulnerable one. Means any application can read it. So now the second one is SQLite database. The application also stores details in their own databases. So this will be .db files. So in Android, application uses SQLite 3 for dealing with the databases. So a cache should be taken while storing the data in the databases, whether they are storing in the encrypted or unencrypted format, and also if suppose an activity is exported, and also if it is dealing with the database, then care should be taken that no data is leaked to the other applications. So now the third one is Firebase database. So Firebase offers many solutions, but one of the most popular one is, and for the Android ecosystem, for storing the it acts as a real-time database. So developer use this to sync and store data in NoSQL, that is a cloud-based databases. So this databases are NoSQL databases. So this data is stored in the JSON format. So many times misconfiguration happens. So wherein it is found out that this databases are publicly readable. So if you found any link inside the application which ends with this firebase.com domain, then you can try putting that particular URL and just append .json after that. So here the Firebase project name will be depending upon your application, what company or what application it is, that name will come here. And yes, you will get the entire URL directly. You have to just append /.json, and you can check whether the database is publicly accessible or not. So there are two reports here that we will just see. So yes, you can see that this guy reported when a Firebase database takeover. So similarly, as we discussed, he found that URL of Firebase, and he found out that it is publicly readable, so anyone can read it. He was also able to insert data in this database. So yes, depending upon the permission by which it is configured, you can also write or read into this databases if they are not properly configured. So this is the second report. So this guy also found one open Firebase database in this application. This is the application name in which he is found. So what he found out is it was returning an null response rather than this permission denied. So it was possible for him to, so he wrote one code to write data inside the database, and yes, he was able to take over the database. So now the fourth one is internal storage. So as we discussed before also, each application will have its own internal storage, which is a kind of sandboxed environment, and no other application can actually read these details, but care should be taken while storing, so that the files are not stored with modes like modes were readable or mode were writable. But now, since these are deprecated, then then there are less chances that this will happen. But still, for the API level less than 17, application can use these methods. So care should be taken here. Then comes the external storage. So application can write into external storage depending upon how developers tend to use the external storage. So also, since the external storage is accessible to all application, so it is better not to write any sensitive or any details, user details in the external storage, which might harm the users of the application. So yes, these are the all techniques which an application use. So now we have talked about insecure logging as well as insecure storage, and what are the different how we can see the application log, as well as what are the different techniques which the Android application uses to store the data. So now we will see how we can analyze the network traffic of the application. As we know that to intercept the traffic, we need some proxy tool in between, which is listening to all the traffic. So here we are using Bobsuit, which is a very popular tool, which can be used to a kind of a man in the middle tool to intercept all the request and play with it. But there is a catch here. So before Android 7.0, the device was trusting and user install certificate, but now after Android 7.0, the device no longer trusts user install certificate. It will only trust the system certificate. So there are two methods for configuring Bobsuit with Android devices, for Android version less than 7 and for Android version greater than 7. So we will look into both of them. So first we will look into how we can configure Bob certificate for Android 6.0 and less. So yes, we will now practically look into it. So for first, what we do, we first set up an proxy inside a Bob listener. We set up add a proxy listener there. So let's I have opened the Bobsuit here. So let me just add an proxy listener one more. So we're choosing one different port, 8081, because currently we are already listening on 8080, so we cannot use 8080 here. So now I'm saying that I need a specific address, and this is my IP, the system's IP. So if here this is my IP, so I'm listening on that. And now in the device, what we have to do, we go to Wi-Fi more setting, modify network, and we will try to set up the manual proxy here. So we will give the same IP 192.168.1.7, and we will give the port 8081. So once we save it, so now let's try to visit http. So you can see we can download a CA cert now. So it is trying to download. So let's see whether we have that. Okay, so yeah. Okay, these are the previous certificate which are, let me delete it and let me download it again. I think we got some error while downloading. Let me try with Firefox. Okay, yes, downloaded. So now it is downloaded. It is downloaded. So what we have to do next? So yes, we have set up the proxy modified, and now we have to download the CA certificate. Okay, CA cert. So let me go to the device. Okay, back, download. You can see that cacert.der. So point to note here, we have to rename this certificate into .cer. So currently it is now .der. We have to rename it to .cer so that we can install it in the device. So rename successfully. Now what we will do, we will go to settings. We will search here certificate, install certificate from SD card, install from SD card. Then yes, this, as you can see, and now we can name it, we will name it as Bob. Bob is installed. So now it is installed. So now let's see. Now we have already set up the proxy. So we have to just go to intercept, and let's see whether we can intercept for Twitter. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, we can now intercept for Twitter directly. So yes, this was an easy uh, method that for Android 7 and less. Okay, so now we will see how we can configure pub certificate for Android 7.0. So as we discussed before, for Android 7.0, the device will no longer trust user install certificates. It will only trust the system install certificate. So now we have to install a certificate into the system, and then only we can intercept the traffic. So first step will be to export the pub certificate from the pub suite itself. So while exporting, we have to export it with this name. So let's export it. So we go to options, export, C8. So certificate in dir format. Next we want to select the file where we want to export. So I'm exporting in this cacert.dir. Okay, already, are you sure? Yes, it is saying already exhibit. Let me just export it again. So we exported it. So now the Android device wants the certificate in PEM format, so we have to convert it in the PEM, and it also wants the certificate in this format, wherein there will be a subject hash which will be appended to dot zero. So the format will be some number. So as you can see in this screenshot, this number dot zero. So this is, as you can see here, 9A5BA575 dot zero. So this, in this format it wants the certificate. So what we will do, we will first convert that cert in PM format. So let's go to that certificate. It will be under, so this is the cert. So let me just delete, I have created this previously, so let me just create it again. So okay, so first let's convert this. So okay, so now we got a cert in the PM format. So now we want the subject hash of this certificate. So paste selection. So this is the subject hash. So let me take a note of this. This is the subject hash. And now we will move it, this first file, to the SD card first. First we will rename it and then we will move it. So now what I'm doing is I'm renaming the PM to this subject hash format. So now we get, this is the certificate we get. Now I will move it, I will push it to SD card first inside the device. Card. So we have pushed it. Okay, we have not provided the certificate. Let me just 9A. Okay, inside SD card I'm pushing it. So fail to get the feature, more devices. Okay, there are more than one devices because we are trying it on the Android 7 point above. So this is the one device 7 point above I have opened. So, and this is the 6 we tried before, intercepting for Twitter. So what I'll do, I'll close this device 6. I don't want Android 6, I want Android 7. This Android 7. So now, so there are 2. So still it is showing 2, but let's try to push it. Let's see. Okay, there are still 2 devices, and there is one more method we can do. So while pushing, we can select actually which device we want to push. So let me first list the devices. So in case, and then I want to push, you can see the IP address is 102. So I want to push it in this. So we can do it like this. We select, I want to select this device, and then I want to push this certificate under SD card. So yeah, it is pushed now. So now we will go to the I will take the shell of that device, shell. Okay, extra L. Okay, now we'll go to SD card, and this is the certificate. Now we will move this. See, we are moving. We are first changing its permission. So what we will do, we will do chmod 644 9. We have changed its permission, and now we will move it into this location, that is system etc security cert. So before moving this, we have to get the right permission on system. So for that we have to do adb remount, more than one device. Okay, just okay. So I'm this thing, then remount. Okay, now we got the right permission to system, and now we will try to move this certificate to this location. So let me select the certificate here, and let me edit this command. So what we are saying is that certificate which is there in the SD card, move it to this system etc security cert. Okay, so we have not selected the device, and I'm just, we have to do inside the shell. So let me just copy this and have to do inside the shell. So that first let me take the shell of the device, and then we have to do this because we have to do it inside the shell. So now it is moved, exit. So now what we have did, we have did remount first so that we get write access. Then we push that certificate into SD card when we have given the permission to that certificate, and then we have moved it to system etc security CSR. So now if we check the under setting security trusted credentials, we can see that the port figure certificate will be there under system, and it will be there. So let's check. If you press certificate trusted credentials. Okay, this is not the one. Trusted credentials system. Under system, if we go down under ports figure, yeah, you can see there is a ports figure under CA. So yes, we have the certificate now. So now what we have to do, we have to just set up the proxy. So let's set up proxy for this. Modify proxy manual 192.168.1.7. This is what we have configured, same on burp 8081 save. Okay, now I have set. Now if you open burp, as you can see, we have already set up this proxy. So now if I try to intercept for Twitter, okay, there's no Twitter inside the application. Okay, let me just install it. We have Twitter with us. So cd Android Twitter. So this inside this application is Twitter. So let me install it. So what we'll do, adb-s select that select and then install base.apk. So this is the Twitter application. We are trying to install it on this device. So let it get installed. Just a second. Yeah, it is installed. As you can see, it is installed. So now we have also set the proxy. So let's see whether we can intercept anything from Twitter. Okay, I'm just providing a dummy credential to, let's see. Okay, we get something here. Okay, so now we have installed a certificate in the system partition. So now so now we'll try to intercept let's see whether we can intercept. So now I'm taking one browser. So let's take that browser and just close this ads. No, let open burp intercept on bbc maybe .com. Let's see. Yeah, okay, you can see that it is making a query to google.com about bbc.com. So yes, you can see that we can intercept. So here also if I try bbc, yeah, bbc code.uk, you can see. So yes, we can intercept. So now what we have seen is we have configured the burp with Android 6.0 or less, and also for Android 7.0. But what if there is an SSL pinning implemented to the application? Then it is not this much easy that we just installed the system certificate, the burp certificate on the system and intercept it. We have to actually bypass the pinning to get the traffic inside the burp. Otherwise, we'll get an TLS handshake error. So that we will see into the next chapters how we can do that and what are the tools we use for that. So yes, in case you have any questions, you can ask, and we are done with the topics actually.